Hello, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Meaningful Marketer podcast. I'm Mia, and this is Grace. And on here, we have chill, cozy marketing chats all about marketing, business, and just how we can make it more meaningful and bring it back to connection with ourselves so we can connect more with other people. So connection with us, connection with other people, because really at the end of the day, that's what marketing is all about. It's being authentically ourselves. So being able to show up confidently and share your magic with the world and feeling good about that. And through that, being able to connect with other people. It's not just about sales. It's not just about all of these shiny things going viral. It's about so much more than that. And those things are a great result of focusing on connection, but those
Yes.
are not what everything is all about. And we believe that's where marketing has gone wrong a lot of the time, or where you start out really strong and then you end up kind of losing your purpose along the way. So today we're going to be talking about something that's going to help you be able to show up as your best self. And that is mastering work-life balance. So we're going to help you with some mindset shifts and some things you can start doing, where in the next 15 minutes, you can learn how to completely revolutionize how you are looking at work-life balance and how you are trying to attain work-life balance. Because I think at the end of the day, that's what everyone wants. I
Yeah.
think we all want to have something that feels purposeful and
Yeah.
fulfilling, but that also gives us the freedom to spend time with our families, watch our
Sure.
kids grow up, maybe go on a couple vacations, be able to check off some of those bucket list things. Or maybe you even just want to simply have enough time to read a book or paint a painting, like whatever kind of artistic things that you have in you that you want to be able to do. Yeah, what we're gonna share today comes from our personal journey, and it's gonna help you with that. And I want to start with, we are very much still on this journey. This is all very fresh for us. So we're in this together. So let's dive into it together, and we're going to share with you what has worked for us. And, in the comments, like, please share what's worked for you as well.
Yes.
Feel free to have conversations because we want to hear from you. We're not just here to teach people. We're here to share our experiences and to hopefully help you through those experiences. Please feel free to share. We need to hear it. And so many other people probably need to hear what you have to say as well. So the first thing I want everyone to think about when they're thinking about work-life balance and everything, because it's so important, is what would the perfect work-life balance look like for you? You might not even know that. You might not even be able to think of that right now. And I think sometimes we kind of subconsciously maybe think we want it to look a certain way. And then once we get there, this
Yeah.
actually isn't really what I wanted. This isn't really how I wanted it to look. And so the first thing I think is thinking of, what is work-life balance to you? What does your day-to-day look like? And I would say off the top for me, it would be able to start work maybe 9, 10 o'clock, have like a slow morning, take care of myself, do some self-care, journal, exercise, like all of these things, have a slow morning, get up, start work about 9 or 10. And I would say, like, ideally for me, in a dream world where anything is possible, because anything is possible, you just have to work for it. I would be finishing up work like 2, 3 o'clock in the day. And I would have a few hours to work on not necessarily a side hustle, but maybe a passion project that maybe doesn't like intertwine in my field that we like work
Yeah.
in 9 to 5. I'd love to get back to doing something with singing again and like just some kind of musical things again, because I really enjoy that. So
Right.
I think work maybe 4 or 5 hours a day. And some of you might be listening to this and be like, well, that's spoiled. That's like a dream or whatever that we all have. But I do think it's possible. So I'm going to just
Yeah.
speak it out there. You have to be confident about it and speak it out loud and go, this is what I want. Because if you're not confident enough to do that, you're not going to be confident enough to take the steps towards it. So
Fair.
first, like, think of it and claim it. And so, yeah, I would say to kind of have time and space to try some of these things that little Mia would have loved doing as
Cute.
a kid, and
Yeah.
maybe never had the time, because as soon as I, was old enough to maybe do those things, you get thrown into the work and you're working 40, 50, 60 hours a week because you're just trying to survive.
Yeah. I feel like it's similar. I think I don't mind working regular days, but if I could get everything done in 4 days, as far as like our business stuff, I could like work Monday through Thursday and accomplish everything I need to and feel good about like closing that portion. And on Fridays, if I could work on like side hustle stuff or other projects, because I do a little bit of freelancing still. And normally that gets saved for the weekends because that's the only extra space for that. So if I could work all of that into my work week and then reclaim my evenings and weekends like fully, Honestly, that would be enough for me. I think, having 2 days back to back to recharge and to not have to, like, think about getting ahead or think about catching up or whatever, I think that that is more important to our mental health than we realize, and every time I do make myself take a weekend like that, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I'm such a better person all around." I'm, like, more focused and more productive and more creative and all of that. So I would save space in my week for some creativity, and I would spend my weekends, yeah, doing what I'm passionate about outside of work, which is, traveling and going to hear live music and cooking and spending time in my basement collaging or painting and stuff like that. I think that sounds like dream scenario to me, and I think we're inching towards this. I don't think it's as unattainable as people might tell you that it is.
Yeah, I really agree with the part about being able to be creative in what you're doing
Yeah,
because I think it can take so much of the joy out of what you're doing when you're just pressed to the limit for time. I think it's so important to at least have something, at least or some period of time that you do have that freedom to be creative because what ends up happening, and we've experienced this, is like you end up having something that you do enjoy doing, but end up losing the joy you have doing it because it's on such a tight timeline.
true.
Because life these days, it's all about productivity
Yeah,
and getting it done faster and making more money. And as like a businesswoman, yes, that's so important. And my mind works that way so much. But it's almost undoing some of that to remember to, hey, it can be simple. It can be fun. It doesn't need to be a huge thing. You can enjoy the process along the way. So that way you can continue enjoying what you're doing, where it's not just so much like a homework project that's due in 1 hour all
yes.
the time. And that's like the energy you're feeding off of. And I think a great first start is just fitting everything in to the work week, like
Yeah,
Monday through Friday. There's maybe been 2 or 3 weeks in the whole time of running our business, maybe one or two more, that I think I've gotten everything done within my week and then had the weekend to where I literally had no work whatsoever. Which, by the way, once you get there, and this is why I say your idea of things might change, it's a bit daunting when you're used to filling your free time up with work and you start to feel overwhelmed. It's very easy, I think, to wish that away because you just want to get back to work now because you don't know what to do with the free time. And that leads into one of the biggest things that I think is important for work-life balance. And I heard this for the first time from my sister. We were on the phone one day. She said, wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, be 100% there. Think about whenever, you're at work, for example. A lot of the time when we're at work, we are consistently thinking the whole time about all of the things we want to be doing that aren't work. We're thinking about the vacations we want to go on, the family things we want to do, the hobbies we want to do. But then when we get the time to go do those hobbies, to go on that vacation, to go spend that time with family, a lot of the time we're thinking about all of the things that need done at work. We're feeling guilty because of the time we're taking off from work or
true.
the to-do list we didn't finish or the email that you saw slip through from a client and now it's stressing you out.
Yeah,
And what ends up happening is you have no enjoyment in either of the things
true.
because you are just constantly somewhere else when you're in that. So the first step after you're envisioning what you want your work life balance to be is then being intentional about wherever you're at, be 100% there. So when you are working on your small business, be 100% working on that small business and focusing on that stuff and not focusing on all of the stuff outside of your business. When you close your computer for the night or whatever you do and you go be with your family or you're enjoying a hobby, you are not thinking about work. You are 100% in that. It's just a practice of intention, really, of being intentional with your time, of being present. And you hear people talk about mindfulness and meditation and, all of these things. They're so great. And it's the way of practicing presence, in a quiet moment. And maybe you have a guide from a app like Calm or something like that, which I love the Calm app. It's great. But there's ways we can practice mindfulness and being present throughout our day. It doesn't end whenever you close the Calm app and you're done with your meditation for the day or you're done with your prayer for the day, however you practice that. It is throughout the day. It's coming back to that, practicing being intentional, being where you're at, being present in the moment that you're in, and having that trigger in your mind of wherever I'm at, I'm going to
I'm fully there.
100% be there. That is a practice that you can take with you throughout the day to continue being mindful and present and all of these things that you want to be. And so, yeah, anybody who maybe does meditation or anything like that, or you're wanting to get into that, even if you're not doing, 10, 15 minutes of sitting and being still, you can start by just being a little more intentional throughout the day. And to do that, you just need to have some anchors that you can hold on to bring yourself back. If you make it a habit to check in with yourself when you're working, maybe you even set a timer on your phone or something that's like, check in with myself, check in with like, where am I at right now? That you ask yourself that and recenter yourself and go, okay, I'm going to be 100% here. And it's going to take practice. And from what I've learned about anything with the mind is it's going to take a while, but as long as you have that anchor you can go back to and you have some kind of checkpoint for that, which I'm not great about having the checkpoint, but I think that's key is like you will learn and it'll start to become second nature to you. So you just need an anchor and a checkpoint. And for this, maybe it's the being 100% there. So that's your anchor, but then you have a checkpoint on a timer on your phone or some other way throughout the day.
Yeah. Well, I think I like what you're saying. I think it's important to realize that the key to work life balance is not multitasking better. And I think for a while, maybe that's where I was stuck is thinking that, okay, well, if I could just multitask a little better, then I can be like enjoying this moment with my friends and family, but I can also still be getting stuff done so I don't get behind. But really, at the end of the day, you cannot be fully in this moment and fully in your work, right? So the closest thing, like I feel like the best route and what we're learning is the best route is to set boundaries for yourself, right? And be fully present in your work when you're working and fully present with your family and friends and doing whatever you're doing in your personal life separately, not at the same time. Now, do I still love to sit on the couch in a room full of people who are watching a TV show or whatever and like check my emails? Like, yeah, like that makes it feel less dreadful, right? If you're like, oh, I'm like half in this, whatever. And I think that's okay too, as long as you're creating hard stops for yourself and really fully allowing yourself to be present, at least some of your day. And like you said, if that means setting a timer and you're not going to do anything while this is going on, you're meditating or you're having a meal, cooking a meal, and you just don't try to do so many things at once because that I feel like is a recipe for burnout. You and I have both tried that. It doesn't seem to be the best way.
No. And I think answering like emails while maybe you're with friends watching TV or something, I agree with that. And I think the reason it's okay, you're not going to overnight just be able to just stop working and being with your family if that's something that you have done for a long time. And that's something you and I both have done even before we started our
True.
business. When we were working for the last company that we worked for, that was something that like you, I was like, well, I have this privilege to work from
Yeah.
home. So that just means I can just multitask really well. And sometimes maybe I felt guilty that I could be working while I'm watching the show. And it is okay because over time, you might find that your big step is I'm not going to be working while I'm watching TV with my family, but I'm going to check my emails. And then eventually, what you may notice is as you get better at work life balance, you might be like, you know what? I don't really even feel the need to check my emails right
Yeah.
now. It's all about the baby steps. And
Agreed.
those baby steps may take years, they may take months, but either way, you're going in the right direction and you're setting, like you said, boundaries for yourself. And I think what you said is key about more multitasking is not the answer. Being, I think, simple and intentional is the answer. And it really can be as simple as just when you're working, focus on your work. And when you're with your people, your family, your friends, whatever, your hobby, whatever it is, focus on that. Because what happens is we always are focusing ahead. Today, when I was walking, this is my favorite time of year. Like it feels great out right now. This fall weather has hit over the weekend here in Asheville. And I found myself being like, oh, I can't wait till fall gets here. And it hit me. I was like, fall is here.
Yeah.
Like fall is here now. Like my favorite weather is happening now. My
Yeah.
favorite season is happening now. And I am still going, I can't wait till fall's here. It's here now. And I'm still thinking ahead or, to something else. And that's how we are with so many things. Oh, I wish I could have more time with family. You're not spending the time with your family now. You're not enjoying it. So like, how are you going to get more time with your family?
That's true.
And I think that's like been a big one for me is realizing you are not going to get more of what you want, more of the life that you want for yourself, more work-life balance until you learn to be a good caretaker of what you have now. Because if you're not caring for what you have now and nurturing that and enjoying that, you're going to not be going in the right direction to be able to create more of that. You're going backwards. And I think that's something that I never got, when people talked to me about that, it was like kind of this woo woo thing of, oh, if you don't appreciate what you have now, you're not going to get more of it. But it's not even woo woo. It's just the fact of if you're not caretaking and nurturing the little bit of what you have now, it's just you're going in the opposite direction of where you need to go in order to get more of that.
Yeah.
And to get more of that, you need
Good
to learn
point.
how to be intentional to be present in it now. And then you will find ways. You will move in the direction to create more of what you're wanting. I think sometimes in life, it really is as simple as our eyes, our focus, our intention is just not on the right thing. It's focused on something else that we can't change. And because of that, it keeps us moving in the wrong direction. And it's literally just changing our mindset and our focus a little bit to go in the right direction. Once you are focused, you're 100% there. I hope you're 100% here right now. Be here. Don't think about the to-do list. Don't think about all that. You want to create systems. And I want to do a whole episode on creating systems. So we're not going to go into how you create all the systems, but you want to start creating systems that allow for that time. So me telling you to set a timer, like maybe you have at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 12 p.m. or something every day, there's an alarm that goes off on your phone and it's like check in with yourself and just ask yourself, like, where am I at right now? Am I focused? Am I 100% in this? How am I feeling? What's going on right now? Maybe take a few deep breaths. So that is a system because then if you have that in place, you don't have to think about it. You don't have to think about taking the time to check in with yourself. It's automatic. It's on autopilot. That's why things like connection cornerstones that we work with in social media and planning people's stuff out. That's why those things work so well because anything you can set up that automates it for you where you don't have to think about doing it, that is going to help you keep going in the right direction. And a system is as simple as, like I said, sometimes setting an alarm for yourself.
Yeah.
Putting an event on your calendar that recurs. I just started doing that with birthdays because I'm literally the worst birthday person in the world. I forget everyone's birthday. I would forget my own birthday, honestly, if people probably didn't remind me of it. I'm the worst. And anyone who really cares about me knows that about me. And I don't think they get their feelings hurt because they know that it has nothing to do with how much I care about them. But still, I wanted to do better. So I'm like, you know what? A system that would really help me is I put an event on the calendar. It recurs every single year. I get an email a week before or 2 weeks before, and I get an email the day of. I don't have to think about it anymore. I did find out the other day I did miss someone's birthday because I realized that I accidentally set the reminder starting in 2026, but that's beside the point. So creating systems, assigning yourself days. I've assigned myself in work that's helped me a lot, started front loading things in the week. And I know now every Monday, that is a client work day. You don't need a fancy app. You literally just need something written down on a piece of paper that's a schedule for you, a alarm on your phone, an event on your calendar, a task that recurs, whatever that looks like. Create a system for yourself, and that is going to help you with that so much. And lastly is work with excellence, not perfection. And there is a difference. And I want to do a whole episode where me and Grace talk about this too. So just to give you some food for thought though, excellence is focusing in here. Excellence is inward. Excellence is you comparing what you are doing to your values, to what you consider a good job, to what you believe the best you can give is.
Yeah.
And perfection is outward. Perfection is comparison. Perfection is all the things that look outward rather than inward. This is going to be a journey for me. And now that I kind of have this mindset shift, I'm excited. But work with excellence, not perfection, because when you get tied up into the perfection game, that is going to wreck your work-life balance because you are going to constantly be in competition and comparison with everyone else. So you are going to let it steal your joy, no matter what your life looks like. You are going to try and fit your schedule and compare and build your life like someone else, which isn't going to work for your life, or you are going to work around the clock to try and fit this mold to live up to the expectations of somebody else's highlight reel on social media.
Yeah.
And it's just not going to work. So if you can instead swap that to excellence and you can really find a way to understand that difference between excellence and perfection in what you are doing, it is going to help so much with you actually balancing your work-life stuff. That is how you can start mastering work-life balance. Coming up with the topic for this and sharing our experiences with y'all has got my creativity going so much. I'm like more that I want to talk about in this. So stay tuned for that. You're going to be getting lots of more chats on this kind of stuff, as well as like marketing tips physical marketing tips that you can take and run with. We're about to do one that's on a couple ways you can keep your emails out of spam, which are
Yep.
simple, easy, and they're going to really help. And you can tackle them right now. That I believe is next week. So
Yes.
make sure to subscribe and tune in because we release these weekly. Members, we have some bonus content for you. So stay tuned. Everyone else, thank you so much for joining in. And if you're looking for any other resources to help your small business, we do have a membership option that is affordable monthly option, gives you templates, ideas, coaching calls, all of that each month. And we are about to release a social media class that is going to make over your social media, simplify everything for you, take a lot of the BS out of all of it. So stay tuned for those things and we will talk to you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.